Hey everybody, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel, Love Without Limits. In this video, I'm going to share with you my current upper body gym routine. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. Last week I talked about my current lower body gym routine, so this week I'm going to share with you my current upper body gym routine. And in last week's video I also shared my weekly workouts that I'm doing a lower body day, an upper body day, and at the end of the week often a lighter full body day with some yoga in between, because I can't be giving up my yoga. If you did watch last week's video, you'll know that I referenced it so much in how doing that has improved my weightlifting workouts, so I'll probably say it a million times during this video as well. For my upper body gym routine, my main focus is of course just getting stronger, getting back to where I was a couple years ago, pre-lockdown, and I have started to go to the gym for the last 6 months, but again, just a few times a week. So overall, I do just want to get stronger and just feel good. I'm not trying to do anything absolutely crazy. I just want to feel good, and for me, mentally and physically, that is going to the gym, lifting weights. My more niche goal that I'm focusing on when I'm doing upper body days is strengthening my triceps. I feel like they're my weaker area when it comes to my upper body. My biceps, similar to my quads, I think about them, they'll get bigger. I don't have any bicep specific exercises because they do get targeted a little throughout the other exercises, but my main focus right now is really gaining strength in my triceps, especially for yoga. I want to be able to do inversions and really cool handstands and crow and eagle, all these crazy things, which I do need a bit more upper body strength for. And similar to my leg days, as I'm easing back into it, I have gotten a bit lighter and I'm working on my form by going slower, doing a full range of motion, and just really having that mind muscle connection, which is so important. I'm doing a total of 8 exercises, and I'm also doing 4 sets of every exercise, but the rep ranges do vary based on the exercise. So the first one that I've been doing is my more compound lift, and again, I've regressed it a lot from what I was trying to just push with bad form previously. I have gone lighter, and it is bent over barbell rows. So I'll just grab one of the preloaded barbells and I'll bend over, again hinging from the hip, not hinging from the lower back or from my upper back. I'm having a nice flat strong back, and I'm really pulling from my lats, and in turn also using my biceps and my triceps in order to do so. And I do this exercise with an underhand grip. For me, it's just a bit more comfortable and it allows me to really tuck my shoulders back and down. I'm aiming for 6 to 10 reps for each of the sets. As of right now, I'm doing 8 reps comfortably. I'm not pushing it to that 8th rep, and as soon as you start to feel your form break down, back off, rest, and then you can do your next set after your rest period. I then move on to the dumbbell chest press. As I'm laying back, I'm having my shoulders tucked down and back. I'm having my core nice and strong and stable, similar to the first exercise. I know I didn't mention that, but having a nice strong core to keep me throughout this exercise, and in order to really feel the exercise in my chest as I push down, my elbows are going past my body a little bit in order to have a really full deep range of motion, and then pushing back up. This exercise I did used to do on a bench with a barbell, and I was putting a lot more weight on it than I am with the dumbbells. But again, I was just kind of rushing through it and not really going slow and feeling the movement in order to get the most out of it. And for this, I'm also aiming for 6 to 10 reps for each set. The third exercise I do are 1-arm dumbbell rows. So again, always starting off on the weaker side and matching your stronger side to that. For me, my right side tends to be stronger. So if I started with my right side, I would be able to get out so many, and my left side would not be able to do so. So I start off with my left side, and then I match however many reps I did on my left side to my right side. For this one, I try to aim for 8 to 12 reps. As of right now, I do my first 2 sets with 10 reps, and those feel good, but by the time I get to my second 2 sets, I'm just doing 8. I could try to push for 9 and push for 10, but I wouldn't be doing so with good form. I really want to get the most out of it and not be sloppy and risk injuring myself at all, keeping my core nice and stable and not moving my body at all. I have noticed that some people will let the weight really pull their body down and twist and then use momentum or use their entire core to twist it back. So by keeping your back stable and flat, almost imagining if you had a foam roller going from your head to your butt and you don't want it rolling off of the sides at all, you want to keep it nice and flat and stable and just pulling from your muscles back here. So pulling from the triceps and from the lats and pulling the weight up to your body and back down, slow and controlled, full range of motion, doing it as best as you can with good form. When you're flopping around again, then you're just kind of using every other muscle and you're not targeting the muscles that the exercise is meant to target. So you may think you're getting stronger, but it's because you're using all of your body weight to fling the weight up. But by going slower, it's so much better for you. Another little goal of mine is to work on my shoulders. So I feel like your shoulders, if you have nice round developed shoulders, it just looks so good. Again, that's personal opinion. It's what I would just love to see on me in particular. So that is something that I'm definitely working on with my upper body days. The 4th exercise that I do and the last one at the bench is seated Arnold presses. So I like Arnold presses more so than just a regular shoulder press because that rotation does target a lot more of the shoulder muscles since there are different parts of your shoulder that need to be worked. And I feel like just doing the regular shoulder press will work on the side, but getting that rotation just really helps you target a lot more of your shoulders by having that extra little piece to it. You do need to go lighter in the weight. So if you can do a lot just doing regular shoulder presses, definitely back down if you're going to do the Arnold presses since it is a bit lighter and is just targeted on my shoulders instead of the other exercises kind of focus on multiple muscles instead of just targeting one. Do aim for a 12 to 15 rep range. Right now, I'll either grab the 15-pound dumbbells and be able to do 12 reps, and that's what I like doing when possible, but there's a lot of times where just no weights are available, so I'll just have to settle for the 10s and I might have to do 18 reps for 4 sets, or I find the 12.5-pound ones and I'll do 15 reps. Sometimes there's like only a 17.5, which is heavier for me, so I'll only be able to do 8 or 10 comfortably without my form breaking, but I aim for 12 to 15. For this exercise, similar to every other exercise, by sitting and being nice and stable and strong in your core and keeping you upright instead of leaning back and forth and using your hips and every other muscle and your traps and your back in order to get the weight up, or by using momentum to get the weight up. By staying stable and focusing on your shoulders, since it is a shoulder exercise, will give you the best results. Next, I head over to a cable to target my triceps and I do straight arm tricep pull down. So for these, again, staying stable in your core, a little bend in your knees, a little bend in your hips. You're not hunched over in your lower back, you're not hunched over in your upper back, and keeping your elbows tucked in right at your waist. You don't want your elbows flinging about and then you pull down by just bending your elbows. Then you're really focusing on just your triceps. And I typically would do this exercise with a rope, and that's how I always like doing it. But I feel like in doing so, because you're pulling the rope out as you get to the bottom of each rep, I've noticed that my elbows did kind of flare a bit. So a few times the rope just wasn't available and I went for the straight bar, and I've actually liked it so much more. I feel like I get so much more out of it and I can stay a lot more stable and really keep my elbows in to get the most for my triceps. So this is one that I absolutely love doing since it's another isolation exercise just focusing on your triceps. I also aim for this one to be at 12 to 15 reps, and right now I am working at 12 reps at this weight. Next, I head over to the lat pull down, and this one, while it is mainly targeted at the lats, a few other muscles are worked in it. So for this one in particular, I aim for the 8 to 12 rep range, again for 4 sets. So as of right now, I'm working at about 8 reps at this current weight, and I'm doing so with a good solid core. Something that was pointed out in one of my old gym upper body videos was that I was kind of using my hips and swaying and using a bit of momentum in order to lean back and really pull the bar down to my chest, and that it was not really targeting just my lats because of my momentum that I was using. So I've taken that into consideration, and similar with all these exercises, as I've gone back into the gym by really slowing it down, starting off lower than what I was doing before, and focusing on each rep, doing the full range of motion, and I'm keeping myself upright, of course, having my chest up a little bit so I can target my lats and really get the bar down all the way and get my head out of the way. But by keeping my core stable, not swaying my body, not swinging around, not using momentum, just using my muscles. And again, I have had to go back in weight, go back in the amount of reps I was doing, but each one is worth so much more, and I feel stronger doing each one instead of just swaying about and risking any injury. And for my last 2 upper body exercises, since I had come back to the gym, I had been doing this on the machine where you can sit on it and do the chest fly, and then you can turn around and adjust the location of the arm things and do the rear delt fly. So I've been doing both of those on the machine, but very recently, and I've actually liked it a lot more because it's using a lot more of my own muscles in my body and my own stability. I've been going to the cables, so the cables that are pretty close to each other, and doing cable chest flies and cable rear delt flies. Both of these I'm doing 12 to 15 reps for 4 sets. And when I was doing it on the machine, I was feeling pretty good, was a bit higher in the weight, and I was like, oh wow, like I'm getting pretty strong in this. Since the last few weeks moving over to the cables, I put the weights on each side to something that would equal what I was doing on the machine. So for the rear delt flies on the machine, I put it to 40, and I was doing the rear delt flies. So I thought 20 on each side of the cable, yeah, that's what I'll do. That is not what I can do. It is just so much different, but it also feels better, and I feel like I'm getting a lot more out of it. But for the cable with the rear delt flies, I'm doing 2.5 pounds on each side, and for the chest flies I'm doing 7.5 pounds on each side. So that was definitely very humbling. For the cable flies, I put the height of each cable to right underneath where my shoulders are. So for this setup in particular, it's at the level 9, and I'm 5'6", if that gives you any idea. And I'll lean forward, and I'm facing away from the cable machine, and I'm curling forward. I'm just holding the ends of each thing, and I'm really feeling it in the chest, pulling together and slowly going back. And I'm doing each direction very slow, very controlled, and doing a full range of motion, because by going back, you're really getting the most benefit from it. You're really working your whole body, and it's becoming a lot more challenging instead of just flinging back and using momentum to move forward. So for these, again, doing 12 to 15 reps for 4 sets. And then for the rear delt flies, again, because I really want to target my shoulders, especially the rear delt, so it gives it that nice round look, I put the cables all the way to the bottom. I face the machine and I crisscross them, and I pull back, and I really pull back with my shoulders, similar to the chest fly. Having my elbows bent, you don't really want to lock that out. Having a nice, strong, stable core, and pulling back, and also making sure that my shoulders are back and down when doing so, because if I let my shoulders hunch up a little bit, which is where they want to go because of my history of bad posture, that's just kind of their default setting, by being mindful of keeping them back and tucked and pulling from my shoulders. That way it doesn't come from my traps, because that's not what I want to work out. And again, that's also why I had to go so much lighter. That way I can do the exercise properly. So that is my current upper body gym routine, and same as the last video, I just want to reiterate that I'm not a personal trainer. This is just what I've picked up and what I've learned for myself and what works for me at this current moment since getting back into the gym, and what I enjoy doing, because it does matter that you enjoy it, and it's something that you are excited to go to the gym for. And over time, I will adjust my rep ranges for each set in order to challenge myself, but I will do so in different blocks in order to get the best out of my exercises. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea of some stuff that you can do at the gym for your upper body, as well as any tips and tricks. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below what you're doing at the gym right now, and what you want to see more of on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.